We may be far, but our hearts are connected. Blood so thick, even water can't wreck it. We're fun, sexy, intelligent, a little crazy. We all seem to make it look easy. Come join us and have a good time. The family bloodline. The family bloodline. The family bloodline. The family bloodline. Hey, what's going on, everybody?
Hey, what's going on?
Hey,
Hey.
how y'all doing?
Hey,
How y'all
hey,
doing?
hey.
Right.
Oh, we got some energy tonight. Hope everybody got some energy.
Got a little bit.
Turn
I'm
up a little
so just
bit.
running in. I'm coming in. Dinner ran a little late.
Yeah.
That's all
But
right. That's all right.
we heard we had a 45-minute wait for dinner. I started to leave, but yeah, Mexican
You
food
gotta
always
eat.
good. Mexican food always good.
You
Is
gotta
that what y'all
eat.
made?
Yeah.
No, we went out. We went to a restaurant called Mi Ranchito.
Everybody got me Cheetos.
Oh man, they excellent.
Okay. Quick plug.
Yeah. How's everybody doing?
What up,
Hey,
Allie?
hey.
Yeah.
Thank you guys
Manny.
for the hellos. What's
Oh,
good, Manny?
Hey,
My
I
man
love that
Manny,
song y'all did together, by the way.
he dialing in from Boyqua, Puerto Rico.
That's cool.
okay.
Thanks for dialing in with us, man. For sure.
Who child?
So I know like Halloween's been gone already, but I just wanted to talk about like I just had one quick question for everybody. Like, what was your favorite Halloween costumes that you saw this past Halloween?
Oh man.
Seen a
Just
ton.
just
For
one,
me,
just the top one, just the top one.
I think it would be the seeing Aaron Rodgers dressed as John Wick dancing to a Pooh Shiesty song. So it's like the
Oh
whitest
my
of the
God.
white guy, dancing, what I'm saying, getting off to the a hood song, you know what I'm saying? It was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that was a good one for me.
This gonna sound
Wow.
bad, but I don't even know who Pooh Shiesty is. I'm gonna just be honest with you.
Okay. Sometimes you just be going with it, like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who that is. My
He
bad.
part of Gucci Man little ensemble, you know what I'm saying? Gucci Man got a 1017, got his record label. Pooh Shiesty part of Gucci Man label, but Pooh Shiesty is right now facing indictments for
Oh no.
Hold on, let me guess. Guns and dope.
all that. They had like a meetup. He was meeting up with some guys to get some vintage tennis shoes, some weed, and something else, but they ended up robbing the guy. You know what I'm saying? They ended up robbing the dude. They had a shooting and everything. These guys they in Lambos and everything having a shootout in a parking lot. Yeah, so it all got, they got caught up. He facing indictment right now over all that good stuff. But he got bread. That's the strange thing about
Yeah,
it.
that's
They
the
got
thing.
so much
They be making
bread.
all this money and still want to live that street life. That is crazy.
And they
Yeah,
rob.
right.
You know what I'm saying? It's
Probably be
crazy.
sitting up in jail with 5 years and you got $5 million in the bank. Like,
Right.
like just
He got that in
what
jewelry.
went wrong?
Man, it's crazy. He got that in jewelry dripping from his chain. I mean, his neck.
That
Stupid.
And you about to be sitting up in jail looking at the wall.
Well, we know he was dressed as stupid as for Halloween. So anyway.
sounds like a
Okay, dressed as
Yeah,
stupid.
speaking of that, what about you, Fat? Did you see like a favorite Halloween costume?
I did. So
I
we
know you
had
decorated your house and stuff a little bit, so
I did. I love decorating my house with different events, but we also had a haunted house where I stay and I participated in it.
Okay.
And one of the women was dressed up as like an ultra pregnant nun.
oh no.
It was the dopest costume. I was like, yo.
Because a nun ain't supposed to be getting none.
Okay, we
She
don't
be scratching my
accurately
head,
represent the Catholic, like you don't
Yeah,
do that
it
type of
was
thing. That's way too
it was
literal.
dope. I see. So I was looking at her like, I really like that, but I ain't say nothing to her. So I kept kind of looking at it, and I hope I didn't make her feel weird, like I was trying to come on to her or something, because I wasn't. I was just like, that is clever. That is, you are a walking oxymoron right now.
Yeah,
That is
yeah, that's
crazy.
yeah.
good job.
Makes you think. Makes you think.
Yeah, the Pennywise. We had a dude named Penny Liggett up here also, and he dressed like Pennywise for pretty much the whole month of October, and he would just pop up in places.
Okay, that's what Minnie's talking about.
Yeah. It was tight.
Yeah,
That's cool.
He would have got knocked the hell out. I do not do freaky clowns. I do not do freaky clowns, baby. He would have got knocked the hell out.
What about you, Wanda? What did you see a favorite Halloween costume?
I did, and y'all gonna be like, "Oh," but it was my niece. She was Chase from Paw Patrol. She was the cutest.
Yeah, I seen it. Chase went on the case. She was in the back seat, slumped.
Yeah, Chase was on the
Down
case
and
for
out.
Halloween, and it was like her first active Halloween. She really enjoyed it, like going to the little doors, and you know, it was still COVID safe, so people had their stuff at the end of the driveway, and she was going like trick or treat and thank you, and she was just so cute. So yes, my niece dressed as Chase was
So
my favorite.
I seen a lot of creative things for like what you were saying, Wanda, with the COVID thing. Like over here, we went to Lafayette Square right over this way.
Yeah, Lafayette Square always does really good.
And they had like on their banisters, they had put up like some PVC pipe and stuff or some little tubes, and they were just putting the candy down the tube and letting it slide. They were like, open your bag, and I thought that was dope.
Hey, Miss Smith, happy Friday.
That is dope. That's crazy.
That is.
Yeah, I saw some Transformer kids, like one transformed into, Megatron or whatever the big truck is, and then one turned into the jet, and then there was one yellow Bumblebee Corvette. I mean, they were literally standing up one minute, and then the next minute they started just and they literally turned into. Cute. I wish I would have had a picture of it or something like that.
So my question is, what was their costume made out of? Do you know?
I don't know. You could tell that somebody definitely put a lot of time and some engineering skills into their outfits, because it just worked out way too perfectly when they started going down to the ground. It was so cute. Yeah. Yeah. So I just wanted to show y'all my all-time favorite Halloween costume of all times. Ain't nothing really beat this in a while. And we talked about this before, but the CVS costume.
Yo,
I don't know what year this was. I mean, this is an old costume.
That's cold-blooded.
At CVS.
And then he has the original.
And they give you the whole freaking roll.
Girl,
paper. What is that
he bought one thing, and then the rest of it is coupons and just sweepstakes and stuff. He bought one thing.
Yes.
Whenever you leave CVS, you have a whole new roll of toilet tissue.
Walking out of that ever get stranded on the side of the road.
Okay, save your CVS receipts.
You hop in the car I'm gonna just put this in a glove compartment in case of emergency.
It's at least 2-ply.
Right.
I just had to find that picture and just pull it up for the Halloween costume.
I love it.
I talk about it every year because it was just one of those costumes. So.
I wonder how he even made that.
I know.
He had a really crafty girlfriend with a cricket.
Yeah. It was probably some machine that he was able to blow the print up on and separate it and then tape it together. And, it's probably sectioned off.
I love it.
I'll be right back, y'all. I got the mambas in my pocket and my kids are right here bothering me.
Just toss it to them.
About that candy.
Just throw it to them.
They're yelling to me from the steps right here. They're yelling at me from the steps. So,
all right.
And set them up.
Daddy. What you doing?
Halloween candy.
We gonna come down there and wreck everything for you, man.
Loving the new do.
Oh, thanks, Sally Pooh. I appreciate it. Okay,
hey.
So.
See, I told you.
Literally just talking about the new do.
Hey, it looked good on me.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. Maybe I'll wear it like this more often.
Say that suits you. It suits you. You got to look for it. Aesthetically, everything. You got to look for it. You got to look for it.
You look like you about to go do a takeover at any moment. Any business takeover.
Okay. What we gonna take over, Wanda? Let's take it over. I don't care. Let's just take it over anything. Okay. Take over the world. Yes.
Let's do it.
Well, while we are on a high, we're gonna talk about something else that happened recently that's pretty cool. The Braves, the Braves. They won the World Series.
What's going on, Battle? So Manny, I hope you're seeing this because both of our teams.
So everybody in Atlanta is celebrating, of course, you know.
Jay, so when is the actual parade?
The parade was today, actually.
Okay.
And they closed down a lot of Atlanta public schools to have the parade. A lot of people took off of work. They had a whole letter online, like a template that you just type your name into there and you can send it to your employer and that will be your, you know, excuse for not coming to work today.
Really? That's dope.
Yeah.
Wow.
So congratulations to the Atlanta Braves. The first time they won since I think they said 1995.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's been a while, yeah. So
congratulations.
I also want to give a shout out to
congratulations.
Okay, that's true, Che. They get a round of applause.
Yeah, let's do that.
They get a round of applause. Okay.
They done something.
All right.
We Redbird fans, Wanda, but we gotta give respect.
I'm a little salty, but
we Redbird fans.
Whatever.
But, hey, it is. And I want to give a big shout out to Ron Washington, Atlanta Braves third base coach. This man been playing in the majors. I mean, well, he been in the majors for over 50 years and just got his first championship ring. So that was dope.
Well,
you know, he was a player from the 70s to he played Major League Baseball from the 70s to the 80s, shortstop. But he been managing ever since then, you know what I'm saying? So 50 years in Major League Baseball, he finally get a ring.
Right.
Yeah.
Good job. Okay. I will clap it up for that.
I'm happy the Yankees didn't win too.
So we just want to give a quick shout out to that.
Absolutely correct.
A real quick shout out to the Braves. That's all.
Congratulations.
Congrats, guys.
Ricky.
It's here all day.
You guys been talking about this new movie, The Harder They Fall, coming out.
Goodness.
My goodness.
I will let's get into this new movie that's out on Netflix. When did it come out? Monday, Tuesday?
Wednesday. It came out Wednesday.
It came out this week. Yeah,
it came out Wednesday.
Apparently it came out in theaters. Apparently it came out in theaters. I didn't know it was in theaters. Yeah, The Harder They Fall. Yeah, it's on Netflix. So I might watch it again tonight with a battle buddy that's over here with me. We might end up after the live and after we do what we got to do, watching that again because it was such a dope movie.
It's worth a second watch.
My gosh!
It is definitely.
Yeah, who were some of the actors and actresses?
Cause who wasn't? Like you got Idris Elba, you have Regina King. There it is.
Right
there it is.
My boy, what's my boy name? I can't even think. The old guy. The old guy. He was in Elroy. That's what I always call him.
Elroy Lindo.
Elroy. Yeah.
He was smooth. Regina King was so fucking. Oh my goodness.
My God. Her Creole accent was on point.
It was.
Her Creole accent was on point.
Right. Even Idris. I was like, dude don't have no accent in this movie.
I know. He be having that accent very well. He has the accent very well.
But you remember when he was on
The
Wire, you know, he had a heavy East Coast accent. He played that role like really, really well. And you couldn't tell that he was a foreign guy, right?
Yeah.
But in this movie right here, listen, every single person, even the support cast,
yes,
stunning. Absolutely,
it was a great movie. We
and
can
I
definitely
love
give
Western.
Regina King her flowers, though.
Yeah,
She
absolutely.
definitely
I'm a
deserves her
because
flowers because,
she did that.
baby,
She
baby,
did that.
She did
I do
that.
believe.
Yes.
I believe that there's going to be a part 2 or something because I
She
ain't
look
gonna do no
good.
spoilers,
Oh, yeah,
girl.
She looking
yeah.
dope. She looking dope.
She
She looking
took,
good.
She was the truth.
sis, goals. That's goals right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I want to
here's
be
like,
damn near 50 with that body. Give me that.
you hear me? And here's one of the best things about that movie. Like, the movie was fictional, right? I got that. And it was just a great storyline, and I like the way it developed. But every character in that movie is actually a historical, accurate. Is their historical figures.
Yeah.
Yeah, people
I
don't
can't.
know that there were actually black cowboys.
Gertrude, like that.
Yeah.
Like I actually got I should have gave it to y'all. Or I actually got pictures of the whole gang and everything, and they're, you know what I'm saying, side by side. Like with Regina King, they had the Gertrude. They had the actual
her name.
woman's name. You know what I'm
Trudy.
saying? Like, yeah, it's Stagecoach Mary. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
all
yeah.
the, you know what I'm saying? Like they had their pictures and they had Wild Bill, all them. You know what I'm saying? They had the actual characters.
Now,
Fictional. It was dope.
There was a bit of a historic or Hollywood movement, right? Because Stagecoach Mary didn't look like the actual actress, but what Stagecoach Mary was, she was still a bad MFer. She was dope through and through.
Oh man, I saw that movie Concrete Cowboys. That was really good. That was a good one too.
Yeah, so yeah, it was that
the
movie.
Harder They Fall is definitely a must watch, y'all. Like,
and
it's 2 hours
must watch.
It's 2 hours and 15 minutes long, but it's worth the watch.
It is so worth it.
Shout out
Yeah.
to the
So
director
fast.
also.
It does.
The director
so
is
good.
did y'all know the director was Seal brother? Jamie Samuels, he's Seal brother. The famous musician. Yeah, he's Seal brother.
Yes. Okay.
Wow.
I just found that out
So
today.
when the movie first came on, me and my hubby were watching. When it first came on, he was like, "This must be a Quentin Tarantino film." I'm like, "No, sir. It is not. It is not a Quentin Tarantino film."
Oh, when you seen old boy get lifted up in the air when he got shot, I thought the same thing. I'm like,
yeah, he in all the blood and stuff. I'm like, yes, but Keith Stanfield. Cannot forget about him.
Yeah.
So if anybody watches them, or when everybody watches it, after you watch it, go and just do a quick Google search of all of the persons that were in that movie, the actual characters. Do a quick Google search on their name. I'm not going to give up everything as far as a historical aspect, but there was one character in that movie who, along with another brother, literally fought the United States government for roughly 50 years for freedom. And it's documented. And those two are the only black men that actually ever did that. They fought the American government, not just through word, but literally with rifles. And they fought alongside the Seminole Indians. So it's the historical aspect of this is absolutely astounding. And the movie is, and I love Westerns. I grew up watching Bonanza, Ponderosa, The Gunman. I watched if there was a Western movie that was out, I watched it. Right. And again, like one of my favorite Westerns is Tombstone, but at this point, running neck and neck with Tombstone is The Harder They Fall.
Yeah. Like my favorite.
I remember being over at Uncle JB house, and he always used to watch them doggone Westerns. I'd be like, "Ooh, child."
Yep.
But no, right.
So the same director, Jamie Samuels, he also directed another Western that he did like in 2010. It had Erykah Badu, it had Jesse Williams.
I have to go back.
Dang, I'm trying to think of the name of it. It was like They Come. Oh man, I can't remember the name of it, but it was like the star-studded black cast. Yeah, he had it in 2010. He had another Western out. Like I say, it had Erykah Badu, Jesse Williams. It was star-studded cast, all black cast as well. It was a Western also. So he also directed. I don't know if y'all seen the Legacy video for Jay-Z.
Yeah,
he did the Legacy video for that. It was more like it wasn't a video. Well, it was a video, but it was more like I don't want to say a documentary, but it was pretty much on guys in prison, and he was talking about their legacy. You know what I'm saying? Solidify yourself. You know what I'm saying? Even though you damned up, you in this situation, solidify yourself going forward. You know what I'm saying? So it was a great message, great story. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and the
but if y'all
freaking
haven't
twist,
already, watch The Harder They Fall. Y'all.
yeah, the twist at the end pulled me in, and I was like, "Holy cow!"
Bro, were you not
see that
like
coming?
I was
I was laying on my beanbag, like, "Wait a minute."
Who expected that plot? Who expected that plot? Nobody expected that. I didn't.
What the damn minute? I was like, bro, like literally, it was like midnight. I had to be at work at 8 o'clock this morning. It was at midnight. I was like, bro, like we was super amped. Like
I was up until 2 o'clock watching that.
So I was like, whew, goodness. But it's definitely worth the watch. It was worth all the Z's I did not get, but it was definitely worth it.
Yeah, cool. That's awesome. Yeah, I haven't gotten a chance to watch it, but you guys are making me very, very excited to. So
yes, put it on your
anybody out
to-do
there who's
list.
interested, you want to watch it, The Harder They Fall, baby. It's sounds like it's a good one. So
it is. It really is.
After the first 15 minutes, Chad, you hooked.
Yep.
You I believe
don't take
you.
that long to get into it.
I believe you because it's not like sometimes you have a little extra time, but like maybe you don't. But if you start the movie, you're not gonna leave, and then you might miss all of this other stuff. So it's just like don't even start it until you have that time to sit down and watch it all the way through. So I didn't want to chop it up into 15-minute segments. You know what I mean? So I'm waiting for that
I didn't
time
take
to
no
really just sit
bathroom
down.
break, but when that movie was over, I had hot tailed it. I was like, I don't want to miss nothing. He like, I can pause. I'm like, no.
Okay, no, then it'll stop.
I agree with Martell. First 5 minutes, I was hooked.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you get into it, you like.
Yeah. That's cool. I'm excited.
Hey, like the beginning, I was like this. I was like, no.
Just starts out that way, huh?
I be in my feelings too much when it comes to these movies. I be like this.
Yeah, it's not one of those movies that takes a dip. It starts high and it just continues to elevate.
Stays high and it goes higher. Wow.
Yeah, it just rides that wave. You know what I'm saying? Like
nice.
It get up to that peak, like Jig say, and you just ride it out. Like
yeah, buddy.
It's definitely a classic. Jay, when you watch it, you're gonna be coming to us like, I can't believe I ain't watched this the first.
Yeah. I'll definitely come back and let you guys know what I thought about it. Definitely.
Cool. Yeah. And same for everybody. Everybody come back, put comments on our page on this video and everything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
once y'all watch
it,
comment.
What?
Hey, Battle. Constance Battle. Like Django was a dope movie, but this movie, it's all of that.
And Miss Constance, your profile picture is everything, darling. Yes.
Okay, that's my sister right there.
So we sitting there watching the movie, and like y'all say, the first couple scenes, my nigga come riding in, everybody looking at him. My dude, I'm watching the movie with Sky and his lady. Sky say, "Who is that nigga on that name?"
That's a Django line.
Everybody just me mugging him. You know what I'm saying? He the new cat. Well, he ain't the new cat in town, but everybody just mugging him. And Sky like, "Who is that nigga on that name?" It was funny from
definitely
Django.
Worth the watch, and you will definitely be entertained.
Yeah, cool. So check it out, you guys. So
yes.
Yeah, I know, Faye, you wanted to talk about this mental health situation that's going on now that it's the holidays. So why don't you go ahead and bring us in on that conversation a little bit, transition us.
I'm very much so aware of the seasons that we're rolling into right now, and we got Thanksgiving coming up, we got Christmas, New Year's. It's a celebration time for a lot of people, and I think my battle, Constance, she'll be able to understand the sentiment. But there is in the psychological world an imbalance, right? An imbalance of certain things, especially at this time of year. And that imbalance is, for a lot of us, this time of year spells out family, kicking it with friends, going back home, hanging out. We eating good, we feeling good. However, understanding that we are still all attached to each other, there is a very real movement of depression and suicide that comes with this particular time of year, right? And so I'm not going to ride this too much, but what I will say is, if you haven't throughout this year checked on your family, checked on your friends, checked on your loved ones, even checked on your enemies just to be able to fight with somebody, now's the time to do it. Like, let's get in front of that and let people know that somebody loves them, somebody's thinking about them, they're a part of a team, they're a part of a movement, they're a part of life as we know it and we understand it, and they don't have to go through anything by themselves. There are resources that people can reach out to. There are there are hotlines that people can call. Like, I will throw my number out to anybody, and I don't have to say a word. Just give me a call. Let me hear what you got, what's going on with you. I don't have to know you from Adam. I just want to make sure that at the end of the day, somebody and everybody knows that you have value within yourself. You have value. Somebody loves you. Somebody needs you. And you're not a useless person. You're a part of a team. Right? And I understand the movement of how America was made, the foundation and the history of racism. But at the end of the day, there's really only one race, and that's the human race. And again, I would defer back to one of my favorite authors, James Baldwin, right? And he talked about it in one of his books. It's actually in one of his it's in a compilation, that we're all experiencing this together. And we're going to do one of two things. We're either going to figure out how to work with each other and live and be better, or we're going to perish together. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. There's no moving that marker whatsoever. So if I'm saying that, I'm just taking a small time to be on a soapbox. If you're feeling low, if you're feeling disconnected from, reach out to somebody. Dial a random number just to hear a voice, even if you don't know who you're calling. Because I guarantee you, somebody will miss you if you're not here. Yeah. Somebody will definitely miss you.
I got a question.
Anybody that knows me, I've had the same number for the past 20 years. It's not gonna change. Call me. I will talk to you. I don't care.
Call me.
You better sing it.
Yeah. Is it harder for a soldier with family like you, or is it harder with a soldier that doesn't have so much of family, you know? Or
unfortunately, there's no real difference. It depends on the individual, right? So just because I might tie myself to somebody else doesn't mean that I won't slip into a state of depression, right? I could have a million loved ones around me, but if I don't communicate how I'm feeling, and if they don't understand how I'm feeling, and there's no actual dialogue in that, the end result is still the same, right? So it doesn't matter if you've got tons of people around you, or if you're deployed, or if you're isolated. At the end of the day, we all need to have a specific type of validation, right? And it's not a validation of word and deed, but it's a validation of life, that your life in and of itself matters. And everybody's life matters, from the worst of us to the greatest of us. So again, just being able to say it at this point in time. I lost a good friend a year and some change ago in an office. I'm very, very sensitive to certain topics, suicide, depression, so on and so forth. Very sensitive to it. And I make no mistake to let it be known that that's who I am, because I've had it happen to me on several different occasions, right? And I don't want anybody to think that they have to go through this life by themselves. If they got nobody else, they got me. And I have no judgment for anybody.
So how do you take that? How do you take it as, you know what I'm saying, like as being that shoulder, you know what I'm saying? Like you was just saying, like you there for people, but you at the same time, I need that that shoulder to lean on at one point in your life. You know what I'm saying? So how does that all
easily.
work out?
So one of the reasons why I can identify with people that's going through that is because I've been through it myself. I don't say it ever, right? But I've been to the position and in the state of being by myself and just being like, hey, listen, my kids will be closer to being millionaires than whatever I was if I just do this right here, right now. And I'm just done with this. And I'm finished with it. Right? That was my thought. And I was sleeping on one of my brother's couches at the time. Right? Going through a situation, didn't feel like I had anybody to actually reach out to. As much as y'all love me, as much as the rest of our family loves us, so on and so forth.
Right.
When
There's no lack of
that
when type of love. It's just the space that you make in your mind.
Absolutely. And it becomes an individual thing to where you're trying to get back to a state of normality and you're climbing up a ladder that has no end. Right? And it took me going through therapy and starting that process to gain a lot of myself back because I was without myself. I didn't know who I was at one point. And I had to get that back. And that's the level that I went to. That's the level that I went through. So again, you know, I'm always available because I know and I understand that level of life. And it's not easy to pull yourself out of. It's not even easy just to take help to get away from it. It's not.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't know how to help you. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, we would all think that we would know how to help somebody or bring somebody, you know, back to some type of state of mind, but most people just don't have the skills, you know.
Yeah. And that's what it is. That's what it is, the skill. And then a lot of people just don't come forth and say, I need help.
Yeah.
That's the biggest issue I see nowadays with people don't want to reach out to someone. They feel like they're vulnerable. They feel like they, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, closed mouth and never got fed is what we was always taught. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but it's easier said than done at the end of the day. You know
I know one thing for me that I've noticed is that, you know, some people are talkers and they'll just talk you to death. If you come to somebody for help, they'll just talk. And it's not going for people who aren't around you and stuff, but, you know, I'm saying if people are around you and they're friends and stuff, and some people just talk, but some people will say, you know what? Oh, you having a problem with this? And they will come to your house and they will cook you a meal. You know what I'm saying? They will clean up your kitchen for you.
Right.
They'll wash your clothes for you while you in this bad place in the moment. They're not just sitting there talking to you. Well, you need to get up. No, they're like, oh, you need this done? You know what? I'm going to take care of all of this for you.
Yeah.
So you can take that pressure off your mind.
Sometimes
you know what I'm saying? Like actions, these words
don't mean nothing. If there's no action behind your word, there's no point in you saying it whatsoever.
I'm a great listener. I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm like,
I'm a great listener. I kind of
like don't look for me because
and that is a portion of it. I'm not trying to, you know, take away from the listening part and the talking part, but I'm saying there's a whole nother, you know, part like the action. There's some action too that can help.
Because where I can't give you the words or advice that you need, I can come over and show you that love, like you saying. Say I come over and show you that I'm here for you.
Know, yeah, sometimes just the basic things that you're dealing with, like the dishes are just piled up, and you know you just feeling overwhelmed with just the basic things. If you could just have somebody come in and just clear the slate for you real quick, you know. Sometimes you're just like, I just don't feel like cooking today.
Yeah,
and you got that friend who actually comes and cooks a meal for you. Friend, you know, I can't get out of bed. I need to do this or wash my clothes, and the kids are running around. And they don't just say, oh, you know, babe, it'll be all right. They actually show up and take those clothes and wash them for you and fold them and put them in the, you know what I'm saying? Like take that action to take that pressure, like literally take that pressure off of you in that moment, you know?
So my battle, Manny, he made a very good point. Even people that have the skill set, because there are people that are trained in various different methods of how to deal with this. They can get hit with it, and sometimes it's harder.
Oh yeah,
Harder.
because you're taking all of that energy in from the people
Yeah.
who you're trying to help and stuff. Like,
Yeah. So yeah, it's man, he's silly. So I will definitively do my best to help any and everybody. I don't care who you are, what you look like, or what state you're in.
yeah.
And I don't have to have the right words. I don't try to pretend like I always have the right words. But what I can do is I can show you.
Yeah.
I can show you better than what I can tell you.
I just like you felt like you love to cook, you know. Maybe, you know, you have a friend that's just like, I need to eat. I just don't have the energy to cook today. You know, but you love to cook, right?
I do.
So if
And
you
we'll do
have
it
the
in a heartbeat.
time to go pop up over their house and cook them a nice, that could brighten up their whole situation. That one thing, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Wanda say, we listeners. So sometimes people just need to vent. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
People need to get it off their chest. You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And where I know I don't have the skill set to, you know what I'm saying, to be a counselor or, you know what I'm saying, to do this, I can
Right.
listen. I can give you my feedback. My situation might not be as good as, you know what I'm saying, the next person, but I can always offer something as a close friend, you know what I'm saying, to help heal you, you know what I'm saying? And sometimes that's all it is a healing process, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, speak life into people. Speak life into people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, correct.
Don't meet them where they are. You're supposed to be above and bringing them back up to somewhere. You
Right.
know, it's an interesting thing.
Yeah.
And I
And that's
understand why you got to have like 12 degrees before you start lecturing people about
so
this kind of stuff.
so Manny, so he's trained in this also, and he's making a very good point. And one of the hardest things that we as individuals would have to do or can do is to ask somebody if they're willing to kill themselves. Right. And I've been faced with the situation. I spoke on it a few
How do
months
you
ago.
ask somebody that? Because you don't
Just
want to be
you
like,
ask them.
just
You ask
assume
them.
or offend
It's not an
anyone.
assumption. And that's what you want to do. You want to remove the assumption. You want to remove the assumption.
Do they be
And
honest with you or
yes,
is it
a person
Sometimes
that's
they will,
literally thinking
sometimes they
about doing
won't,
it,
sure.
a person that's committed to doing it, they will answer you directly because they've gone through the process of planning it. They've gone through the process of thinking it through. They've gone through every aspect of actually committing to this action. And if you have to be honest with people and you have to get out of your way and you've got to ask the person, are you going to hurt yourself or will you hurt yourself? And if they say yeah, you take them at their word. And you don't leave them from that point forward.
Gotcha.
You don't.
Gotcha.
So it might seem, well, it's uncomfortable initially. It's uncomfortable. But the outcome of asking that question is far greater than not asking it and simply having an assumption. Constance and I, we had a battle buddy. I didn't ask him that question. I had spoken to him that very same day, 3 hours before it happened, and he killed himself in the office. He killed himself. I didn't ask him the hard question. I invited him over to my house that next day, and he never made that appointment. We never got that chance to hang out.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I'm assuming that these type of people, they already have in their heads that nobody cares. So why would
Or
they
that things will
volunteer
be
that
better off
information?
without
They've already
them, or they will
decided
be
that
better
nobody
off
cares.
without
That was only
living.
why I asked, do they answer it? You know what I'm saying? Because I would think a person that's in a dark place, you know, not knowing, I would think a person in a dark place would be like, I'm just there. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, I'm not going to hurt myself. It's just thought process. It's just where I'm at this time. You know what I'm saying? So that's
Sure.
the only reason why I asked it. You know what I'm saying?
That's the difference, right? And that's a great question because a person who's simply going through the process and getting to that point, right? At one point, they're still at the level of saying, "Well, no, I'm not going to do it." You know, I'm flirting around with this idea, and it might be possible, but that's not where I am. But when you meet a person who is at that level, there's two things that happens. First off, they'll hear the question, they'll assimilate it, and they will be honest enough because that's where they are. They've got no more room for lies. They've got no movement to bullshit anybody. They'll answer the question honestly. Right? That's the first thing. The second thing is once they do that, you take them at their word. And you don't leave their side.
Yeah.
You don't.
And I don't know. It might be a hard thing for someone who's suicidal to admit it because you're exposing like a huge part of yourself. Like you have to really trust the person that you're talking to about it. I'm sure there's a form of shame and humiliation that comes in, with that, just allowing yourself to get to that point. I don't know. I really couldn't imagine, but I'm sure it's not easy to say, "Hey, dog, I'm about to commit suicide. Can you talk to me?" Like it's hard to come to somebody with that information because you might instantly feel like stripped of like your humanity. Like it just depends on the situation. Everybody doesn't take that information the same.
So if y'all know me, y'all know I have a daughter that's where her mother was diagnosed as bipolar, and she has a lot of the traits as well. You know what I'm saying? So growing up, doing her 16 to 18, you know what I'm saying? We really experienced a lot more of that, you know what I'm saying? Like she wanted to hurt herself. I want her daddy, you know what I'm saying? I want, you know what I'm saying? It was all, you deal with a lot of mental, you deal with a lot of mental, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to like, damn, a lot of this stuff ain't really happening, but in their world, it's going on.
It's
real. It's real. It's real. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I done dealt with it, but I know you probably dealt. That's just one case I done had in my 40 years. I know over your shit, I can give you just your military career. You can probably dealt with way more than that. You know what I'm saying?
So in that same year, I literally took another friend of mine. He was actually a Mason as well. I asked him the question, and it was just off the cuff, just talking to him, just like brother to brother. We were talking, and I was listening to what he was saying, his inflections, and he just started venting. And I was like, "Hey, bro, are you gonna kill yourself? You thinking about hurting yourself?" And he was like, "Yeah, I got my pistol in my car."
So
there's a lot of things that happened out after that, but I didn't leave his side from that point forward. I went up, I talked to some people, had hard conversations, and we went to the hospital together. And I waited for him.
Correct.
He came from the hospital. A couple of days later, he asked me to come to. He was like, "Hey, I'm still going through this." Like, okay, well then let's figure it out together. You're not by yourself in this. And we had to go to another location, several hours away, to make sure and I checked up on him while he was in the hospital. Just so he understood that you're not by yourself. If we could actually get a floor level foundation of understanding that we all experience this human experience, there's no point of this movement that we don't touch in one way, shape, form, or fashion. And if we could all meet each other on that level of simply being humans and engaging with that aspect of life, things would be different. Things would be a lot different.
Right. What about you, Wanda? You ain't had nothing to say about the topic. You got anything to add?
I'm just listening. It's a lot, but
yeah, it's a hard topic.
Yeah, I just really I just try to be understanding all the time. Like I said, I'm a great listener. I just try to be that person that people feel like they can go to and talk to.
Yeah.
I just try to be that person. And I know even for those listeners, it can get hard for us too, because we're taking on everything.
Yeah, because you have to hold things in. You like confidential with everything. Like you can't tell nobody. Yeah. You gotta hold it all in, and you're like, oh my God, what if something really happens and I ain't tell nobody? Like it's a lot.
Yeah. And it gets rough. You got to know when to say something and when to keep it confidential. And luckily, I never had to be put in that position where it was a life or death situation when I didn't say anything. But
Right.
And that was the comment Constant just made, you know what I'm saying, about it's different when it's your own seed as well, when it's,
Oh
and
yeah.
that's how I felt this, I'm coming up like, damn, my child say she gonna hurt herself, you know what I'm saying? To the point where they actually removed her from the home. They put her in a psych facility for, weeks, you know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
it was a difficult time. And I thought
Yeah.
I was always that shoulder to lean on, you know what I'm saying? But that
Yeah.
was one of the examples of what I was saying, where people in that space in their head that
Yeah.
whoever you are, it don't
Right.
even matter no more. You know what I'm
You could
saying?
be hugging
Like
them
then they just dealing with
24/7 and they still can't
right.
break out of that place.
They just battling with their demons at that time, or
Mhm.
themselves. You know what I'm saying? They just battling with themselves at that time. So it
Only
ain't got
so
nothing to
much you
do
can
with
do.
you or anybody else. It's
Right. Right. And it's hard not to take it personal, right? Especially if it's your seed or your friend. Like, how can I
Yeah.
not take this personally? Like, how can this not affect me too? Like, I'm freaking
right,
out,
So that's
So,
a suicide hotline. That's a
thanks for that,
helpline.
Manny.
thank you. Oh, I'm sorry
Yeah.
about it. I didn't know we just stepped you.
No,
I was
no,
gonna
no. That
put
was
that on
perfect
first
timing.
and
That's what I was
then
about to do,
I
Chase.
was
I was about to do the same thing. You're good. You're good. You're good.
appreciate it.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
So yeah.
we've
So
got
check on your family. The holidays are here, you guys.
yeah.
So check, so
Let's not
all
Even
of
when
lose
this
it's
has
not the
been
people.
holidays,
amplified.
check because
Absolutely.
ooh,
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
So
yeah.
thank you, Jay. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
And everybody else, thank
Uh,
y'all for letting me have my soapbox for a second.
I know.
Like, it's all because like I wouldn't have related my personal issue with the military. You know what I'm saying? Like you was talking about suicide and all that. I to actually personally have that in your household is it's a whole different ball game. Like y'all know
Mhm.
me, like baby, you come talk to me, you can rap with me, you can daddy the easy one. You know what I'm saying? I'm the easy guy in the house. You know what I'm saying? But it's 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 it's
Yeah,
it puts you in
everybody has their own
yeah,
perspective,
yeah, man. It's
What might be
totally
easy to you might not be easy to them.
correct, and that's what I you know what I'm saying, having to deal with, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like I ain't got no military background, so what
right.
Jen was speaking about, and then it's touch home, you know what I'm saying, in a personal home as opposed to just military aspect. It was like
Yeah.
you know,
I mean, I would just think about this way ultimately. People with the highest psychology degrees and the highest mental health degrees in the country have lost patience to suicide. So
Yeah.
yeah,
let's
Yeah.
all not, stay level minded. If you're the one listening or you're the one talking, let's everybody just, understand like we can only control
I
so
got
much.
you.
So I don't know. That's all I have to say
Yeah.
about that. Any final
Absolutely.
thoughts about that before we get to our next topic?
put that
Uh
hotline back up one more time for the peoples out there, the viewers out there,
sure.
and that's all I got to say.
Which one?
This one right here, I got
Just
you, Jay.
yeah, right there, yeah.
Okay, there you go. That's National Suicide Prevention Lifeline. I thought it was hotline, but Lifeline, National Suicide Prevention Lifeline.
Yeah.
So call them. This ain't the first time we didn't talk about this, y'all. We got some other videos on
right.
YouTube. We're gonna
Absolutely.
mental health is probably gonna be a constant thread over the time that we do our podcast, and we're probably always gonna come back to mental health at some point. So
Yeah,
because we care.
we do.
We
We do.
do.
So well, thank you everybody for those comments. The next topics we're gonna have. Dirk, you want to go ahead and bring in this one? I know this is something that you wanted to talk about as far as what happened to this 9-year-old
Oh
child.
well, reading into the cases, let me go and tell y'all. The kid that did his researches, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
um, you got this. God, dog, I forget how old the young male is. They juvenile, so they don't release the names of the individual. So This one individual,
Early teenager.
Yeah, they're in high school, so yeah, okay, yep. So he got a case at one school where he assaulted this girl. I said a 9-year-old, but they're high schoolers. Ain't no 9-year-olds in high school. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And reading into the case, and reading into the cases, the first case, actually, he got two. Let me break it down. He got 2 cases. You know what I'm saying? 2 cases. He got accused at a school in May last year of sexually assaulting a girl. And while that case was going on, he transferred to another school and had another case. But both cases, this kid was, well, not the kid, but the kids, it was consensual. Both times it was consensual.
Okay.
In the first case, somebody walks in. They meet up in the bathrooms all the time. They met up in the bathroom. The first case, the male and the female met up in the bathroom on 2 separate occasions. The third time they met up in the bathroom, she said he was getting a little too rough, too physical, and somebody came into the bathroom and busted into the stall and boom. And somehow his watch got caught on her skirt. So when he turned around, it looked like he was wearing a skirt. Okay. That's where the whole transgender thing comes into play. Because at the same time, at that school, they were trying to implement the transgender bathroom rule at that school. In that county, Virginia, they were trying to mandate the transgender bathroom. What did the transgender go for the bathroom? If they are a male and they identify as a woman, do they go to the woman bathroom? So that was all on the board at the same time. The first rape case pop off. So where I was coming in saying that it was like a transgender thing, like they were making it a transgender posing a kid, a male posing to get in the restroom with the females and commit this crime. That's not the case.
That wasn't the case.
That's not the case. In the second case, it was consensual. They met up 2-3 times in the restroom. How the hell y'all meeting up in high school in the bathroom at, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, anyway, it was popping up.
They saying they starting earlier these days. So
Well.
Now, you know, when we was in high school, the back of the bus used to be the spot. So
hey. There's some things that used to go. I got my soul's over here shaking his head.
I'm just saying.
So in high school, there were some things that went down that was grown folk business, and it happened in the bathroom. It happened in the baseball dugout.
Stairwell.
So I guess my thing is that I just don't want this incident to be connected to the transgender community.
Sure.
And generalized
that was the whole thing
into this whole thing about you know.
But that's the whole thing though, like the transgender, and I think that was my case that I was trying to bring forward. They are the only ones that then made the LGBT community that made it to where you don't have to identify as being who you are. You know what I'm saying? You can identify as whatever you want to be, and correct. And that was what I was saying. That's posing a problem to a lot of the things that's going on, and a lot of the pedophiles, it's just opening the doors to so much BS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't know. I think that already existed. I don't think it's anything new.
No, it's definitely new. Like
and you know, like to me, there's a difference in a boy dressing in girls' clothes and that happening as opposed to an actual transgender person doing this. Those are two totally different things.
I think his point just trying
a straight man dressing in putting a dress and a wig on just to purposely attack kids versus a transgender person.
That's why I say opening the door.
Like those are two totally different things.
When we were in high school, was transgender a topic?
that doesn't mean it didn't exist.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like it existed. It existed.
So
That's what I'm saying. It existed, but
so
nowadays
it wasn't communicated the same way, right? So
no, they
and I
were
think I might have
basically
missed
labeled
something.
as freaks, and they were freak shows, because
And
Oprah
a
had
lot of people
20.
still think that they are.
not
But I mean,
not that, but go ahead. Go ahead.
no, go ahead.
So I'm just trying to. I think I might have missed something because we can't put misinformation out there and say
Exactly.
a kid in high
And that's what
school
I
that
This is a
identifies as being
transgender thing.
transgender,
right. And
right?
that's why I corrected that. That's why I said coming forward.
I appreciate that.
You know,
and I understand the stigma. I understand the stigma. That's why when we were actually brainstorming about this, the title of it was supposed to be The Poser, because we're not dealing with a kid that might identify as a transgendered person. We're dealing with a person
it was
who
hard to
is
settle
simply
on an
taking
actual
advantage.
title, but that's
because we didn't have all the
it was.
I wasn't really, we weren't really sure
right.
what to officially title this, so we're just gonna talk about it the way it is.
Yeah, at the time,
because
what I
want to make sure. I was just saying is what I want to make sure of is that we don't push out that transgendered kids will go into a female restroom with the intent on sexually assaulting a girl or a young woman.
Correct.
Right. So this kid was posing and riding a specific title. Oh well, yeah. Now we know that he wasn't. Now we know he wasn't.
Now
but when it was first pushed out there,
when we
first talked about it and we thought what was happening, that's what it kind of presented itself as. But now we know that the kid is just a fucking pervert and he ain't got no goddamn home training.
He likes to get it on in school bathroom.
There's something
we really can't call him.
There's
we can't call him a pervert because it was consensual up until they got caught. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so you're right, and you're right. So I will retract that. So what I will say is, you got a kid that is already feeling himself as an exhibitionist, right? That's okay with doing things in public, with having sex in public, right? Regardless of how he's got to go. He goes about doing that. If he's got to go into a female restroom, follow a young lady in there, that quote unquote consensual in high school, like as adults at this point, let's be honest about it. We thought sex was cool, but did we really know what sex was and the consequences of it? Okay. But he followed them in consensually on several different occasions.
It wasn't just in women's bathroom. It was in other classrooms. It was in the boys' bathroom too.
This motherfucker's an exhibitionist.
So, but I'm just saying, it ain't just him. It's the girls are going in there as well. So that's what I'm saying. So, the New York. I read the New York Post. I read the Washington Post. I read two separate. You know what I'm saying?
I wish you would have sent me a link to these posts so I could know
I got
what the story is about.
Oh,
we could have corrected that.
Yeah, because we're kind of swirling and whirling around. Like I haven't done my personal research on it, so I wish I would have known more about it to speak on it. But
we all had the topic though. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. Like we all and like I say, that's why I was glad I was able to come back and correct it about
and say that it's not what it was.
It's not what it was, but at the same time,
and I'm glad.
But like I say, at the school, doing this whole case, the schools are still trying to push forward with having a transgender bathroom. You know what I'm saying? They trying to determine where a transgender can go for the restroom. So the father of the child that got in the first case that got assaulted, he was at that meeting, and you know what I'm saying? He like, no, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no man, ain't no boy with no, you know what I'm saying, having no penis with us, even with having a skirt on, ain't going in no girl's bathroom. So that's what You know what I'm saying? Reading the headlines,
That
that's
was
why that was the
okay.
top because
Got
it's
it.
all taking place at
So
the same time. Yeah,
that might need to be something we circle back around to because that's actually a different topic than what
it's a big
we
case.
thought it was. It's
Yeah, it's a huge case.
and it's good. I'd love to talk about it in depth. I would love to talk about it in depth because it's honestly looking forward and looking at the future. It's something that we ain't gonna be able to escape,
No, it's
right? If you
coming.
got kids, or even
Yeah.
if you don't have kids, because this is going to be an adult issue before it becomes a child issue. Honestly,
Correct.
so I'll look at some case study on that because yeah,
Correct.
that deserves some attention. I think.
Mhm.
You know, but not to the point to anybody that nobody needs to be demonized about it. But we should probably look into it. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm glad that it didn't pan out the way we thought it was panning out.
It didn't
Right.
pan out the way
Yeah.
it's fault on every
Yeah.
side. If you
Yeah, right. Every
when you
side
read
has
the
an
case,
argument.
it's fault on every side when you look at the case. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's two juveniles. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But the parents are
Number one.
like you saying, Jig, the parents are involved now, so it's blown out. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. All
That
right.
North
Got it.
Carolina
I'm
said,
gonna
hell
do some
no.
research on
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so just keep your ear to the ground and know what's going on in the
Yeah.
schools and stuff,
We'll
and
circle
whatever your
back to that
opinion
one.
is, fight for whatever you believe in. Um,
Because it might
and
come to a school different than you.
let's just pray that we all come out whole and still in a great place, So
And I agree with
that's
that.
that for me.
I'm with that.
Yeah. So now that we've talked about some some issues that minors are having, things like
Dealing with
that,
minors, huh?
let's talk about some adults. Okay, let's get back to the
Let's do it.
grown-ups who are having these
Yeah.
issues around sexuality and sex and who in a relationship and all this
Oh
stuff.
mercy. Merciful
Child.
mercies.
Jada
So we
Pinkett.
back to Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith. We back to them, y'all. We back to talk
Tupac
about
hit it
what's
back in
going
the day.
on.
That's all I'm
What'd
gonna
you
say.
say?
And that's
What'd you
That
say
is neither
there?
here nor there.
Nah, my
That
We
is
bad.
ain't even,
neither here
girl,
nor
we
My
ain't even
there.
bad.
said nothing yet.
My bad. I
hey,
said
but let's
Tupac
be
hit it
honest
back in
about
the day.
something, right? Let's be honest about something. As men, right? Any woman that you with, your wife, your girlfriend,
Why you pick that
they've been hit by
That
somebody
picture
else
right there.
I picked the
before you
ones
hit.
that go with the topic.
Look at that hurt face from Will.
He
Mm.
Yeah,
crying
Pac
right
hit her,
there, bro.
man.
Will said he wasn't hurt in this picture.
Yeah.
He was just tired.
He hurt.
Maybe he was
No, that's
tired of being
bullshit. He
hurt.
was hurt.
We know her, man. Every hurt man.
He
Mm.
said, as
Every
a
hurt man
man,
I
know
can
I
accept that,
know
Tay.
what it looked like.
No, he was
Yeah.
sleepy. He
I can
was
accept that. I can
going off
accept that.
quick. He didn't get no sleep. He had like 3 hours of sleep.
Shit.
I won't
He said
accept
he
that.
was.
And he can't fool. I know what he was feeling. That picture, I know exactly how that dude felt. Like
That's a hurt nail.
I strung
I've been there.
ass right there. My feelings
Straight
are
up.
hurt.
Dirk
You
said,
done
I've
hurt
been
my
there.
pride.
Dirk said, I've
Yeah,
been
you done hurt my pride. You done hurt my ego. And if I wasn't restraining myself, you'd be several different types of bitches in several different
And we
languages.
on national TV.
Hey, you
could have
finna
pulled up
embarrass
on
me
me in
like
the
this?
crib.
Motherfucker, I'm a
Man,
multi-millionaire and you finna do me like this?
we could have did this at the crib, cuz.
Right.
Man.
Oh my God.
Well, BuzzFeedNews.com had a whole lot to say about it and all this stuff that Will's saying. It's just really all about their unconventional marriage. The fact that they've had open marriage from the beginning. Jada Pinkett Smith apparently has never wanted to have, a traditional
The
marriage. She's
traditional
always
marriage. And she
believed
said
in.
that from the beginning.
Yeah, she said that from the beginning. So
And
she's
he accepted
being
that from the
demonized,
beginning.
and he
Yeah.
No
accepted it. I
prenup.
mean, he's Will Smith. He didn't have to accept it. I mean,
Right.
one thing.
He accepted
Mhm.
it.
One
So
thing that stood out to me, like Will was talking about, like at one point in the marriage, he had this thought about, man, how cool would it be to have 20 girlfriends rocking around the world with me, and I just got my 20 girlfriends, and I take care of them all, and we all walk around, and And he's just
Boy,
like,
you gotta
after
have
talking
a
to my
stamina of a
therapist and
pig.
stuff, right? He was like,
That's
after
too much
talking to my
goddamn work.
therapist, he was just like, realized how crazy of an idea that would have
That's
been,
way
for
too
him.
much work.
Talking
Yeah.
about timing, man. He got a team himself. He would have to get a whole nother team just so he can do that. Hey, bro, I gotta go. I gotta go meet Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? He just naming on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. He's like, I gotta go meet
Okay.
Wednesday.
Wednesday 1, Wednesday 2, Wednesday 3. Like,
Give me a second,
But
y'all.
people are mad at
too many.
Jada.
All right, G.
People are mad at Jada because she said that you have to keep, the sexual relationship spicy. Like after you've been with somebody for a while, it can get a bit lackluster, for better words.
Right.
So, I'm like, if you've been said I want to be one of his girlfriends.
Oh Lord.
So okay, cut me a check. So
and Alex got to chime in.
Look, oh my God. See, look, man.
Y'all are killing
I
me
love
right
you,
now.
girls.
Oh my God.
I love the
Y'all are
ladies.
killing me.
You know what I'm saying?
Hey, listen.
But like, it is very important to try to keep the spice in your relationship. Like,
yeah,
being married as long as they have,
everything
it has got to be,
fades
like,
over
you
time.
looking, like, absolutely, like you looking at the same face, the same beard, the same ears,
Everything.
the same balls for the past 22 whatever years.
Hold on, what you
Yeah.
saying?
You better throw some glitter on them balls or something. Give me something new. I mean, give me.
Bejeweled.
Shucks. I mean, like,
Bedangled,
man.
bejangled, what they call it? Bejeweled.
Bedazzle. Bedazzle them.
Bedazzle the ball.
Bedazzle, that's what it is. Bedazzle.
Yeah,
Like,
something.
what's that word? Bejeweled, bedazzle. What is that?
Yeah, girl,
Like,
I got
give me
these.
something. Like keep me guessing. After
Come in doing the dozen, you got these.
doing anything for that long can get boring. You would get tired of a routine, and when you get in a routine, and that's where stuff goes left.
Got you. So you say I should just show up in the bedroom, do the Dougie with a dookie rope hang from my boy. A dookie
If that's what
hang
you
from
got
my
to
boy,
do to
like
keep that spice in your bedroom, by all means,
Yeah.
dress
gonna take
a
it back
woman.
to
Do what
spicy.
you do. Do what you do.
Yeah.
I got you, because of.
Like,
I
think for married couples, it's a lot harder because you're supposed to be committed to this one person, for better, for worse, to death do you part, boring sex or not. But come on now, like, how much can you?
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, give me
And
something. But like me in my relationship, I'm vocal. I'm like, I'll tell you what I want.
Right.
Like, if I feel like I'm getting bored, like, hey, you better do a backflip or something. Give me something.
I got 10 minutes before the Masked Singer come on. You better do what you do.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, right. The time becomes an issue because we got kids now, and everything just starts closing in up on that moment of sex, and you're like, just fuck it.
You telling me we got 10 minutes? I'm gonna give you 9 of them back.
Just forget that. I think
I yield 9 minutes.
You know, like, just make me feel as special as I did the first time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's hard.
That's because you'll never have the first time. The first time is
you
the first
won't,
time.
but you can keep me guessing.
I got you.
Like, he done came up in this little crib walking, girl. Let me call you back.
Wow.
You just gotta. Yeah.
Razzle dazzle here and there. I got you.
I definitely have a
keep the pizzazz
perspective of it all.
I got you.
I just think, like, this is Will and Jada that we're talking about. We're not talking about, people who live normal white picket fence type of life, 9 to 5 life. So like, Will is gone 6 months out of the year sometimes filming movies. Jada's gone. Jada's gone, and there's not this financial need. Neither one of them need each other at that basic kind of, paying bills kind of level. And you gotta think they're both actors. They're gone for months at a time.
And they meet like some super sexy people.
Yeah, and they're
Yes.
super successful. What are we gonna do about our sexual needs while we can't be together during these long amount of months and months out of a time, working on movie sets? And
Right.
sometimes they're both working on movie sets for
Right. So
months at
we
a
only gonna
time.
play on
And
FaceTime too many just too many times, you know what I'm
that
saying?
gets
Before it get
old,
real,
and
you know.
not
Yeah.
only
Oh, I
are
like the
they beautiful
FaceTime
people, they're
thing.
surrounded by other beautiful people
Hey, you
for
something
4
else.
months at a time. Like
I mean,
everybody's gorgeous, and everybody's horny, and it's crazy. And
and
what do you do?
you look at some of the roles, right? And as an actor, a lot of actors they do something called method acting, and method acting is literally uh, being the character. So if I was method acting with another actor and we had a fight scene, we would literally hit each other, right? So now there are actors and actresses who do method acting when it comes to being in a relationship. So sometimes actors and actresses they're off camera, they're
Bro, don't hit
establishing a
me.
relationship. They're
Don't hit
establishing a
me.
relationship. I'm just telling you what happens. They're
Okay.
establishing a relationship. They're getting to know each other intimately, and not saying that it always has to lead to sex, but there are times where it
That
comes right.
physical, yeah,
Yeah,
that physical, yeah.
you get into a vibe. You get into a vibe,
Like
and
I
when
always
it
wondered in those movies, like I know that it's supposed to be fake sex, but I like some of them be having real sex.
well, some of them do,
Who knows?
yeah. But
Like
again,
they having real sex.
it's a part of method acting, and it's getting into a character, and it's being that character on set and offset, so that when you're on camera, it's authentic, and your audience can feel it. They can see it,
Mm.
right?
Don't hit me,
So
cuz.
I'm just saying.
All right, me too.
Well, my husband can't ever be no actor, so there we go.
Yeah, and let me tell y'all something. And y'all know I don't never claim to have had some big time success or anything like that in the entertainment world, but just at the basic level of trying to be a musician and having 3 gigs a night, working a full-time job at the same time, trying to go to rehearsals, all this stuff in a week, it's hard to have a relationship. It's hard to have a committed relationship when you don't have time to be around.
It
I'm
is.
Well, sounds like
busy.
what you need is a dick in a box. Mm-hmm. That's what it sounds
That's
like.
what Will and Jada are. They're just married.
Yeah, like the real
Well,
deal, though.
They started off monogamous, but it changed,
I
and
mean,
it
but
was
with life,
understood from the
people
beginning,
change,
like
so
we
needs
already know
change.
that we're not gonna have this kind of time together.
How
Because
you
I
got
want to
time for a
pursue
dick in
my
the box when
career,
you ain't got
you
time
want
for
to
me?
keep pursuing your career. We want to have. Where's the time? Like
it's
we
How you
gotta
got
it's
time?
figure something out.
Hey, tell your dude, hey, look here. Give him a time limit. That's what I'm telling all the ladies. Give your guy a time limit. I ain't going good.
yeah, we gonna make that time hack. We gonna be there. If you be like, hey,
We gonna be there.
I need you to come blow
All
my
right.
back out
Well, let me
at 12
know
o'clock.
when
When
you
We
guys
dude
sitting
pull
have
there
up
at,
on your
successful
front
at
acting
lawn,
10 o'clock.
careers and your schedules are extremely busy. Let me
yeah,
know if you still think the same way.
I'm
Let me
gonna
know.
tell you. You
Well,
gonna be mad. You gonna
I
be like,
like
Let me
Chase.
know.
this nigga pulled up
I
at
don't
my
disagree with
job,
that
girl.
because, well, and just to like in Chay's defense, when my first stage play, I was working on the Wiz, and my custody was different with my kids, and I had a very challenging rehearsal schedule. And what I had to do is bring my kids to the theater. So my kids actually knew the lines for the Wiz better than what I did, and they knew other songs better than what I did. But I would have to bring. So I would hurry up, get home from work. I'd cook. I'd cook a meal for us. I'd pack it up. I'd go pick them up. Once I picked them up, we'd go straight to the theater and then we'd start rehearsing. And during breaks, I'd jump off the stage and be like, hey, what do y'all want to eat? Here's the bag right here. Let me pull the plates out, serve dinner, go back on stage, do rehearsal, hop back off stage, give snacks, help do homework, give everybody kisses and
So
hugs and let
basically,
them know
what
I
you
love
saying
them.
is the schedule thing is a cop out. Like if you want something to work,
No,
it will
I'm not.
work.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm not saying the schedule thing's a cop out, but the schedule thing is very intense. It's very intense. And depending on the type of movie you're working on, you can't always just be like, hey, I'm finna fly back home. Because you got practice, you got rehearsal in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah,
Next
there's no
5-10
flying
minutes.
back home. There's no flying back
Yeah,
home.
there really isn't. There isn't. So you can be on set like for 2 or 3 weeks straight. You'll have 2 to 3 minute breaks in between time and lunch, but you don't always have enough time just to go back home.
Yeah.
You
And I
don't.
mean,
There were
if your
times where I
partner
was
can
getting back
accommodate you
home.
in that,
Go ahead,
yeah.
dude.
I
Yeah,
was just
but you
saying,
got to
if
remember,
you have
like
a partner
your
that can
partner has
accommodate
a
you in that,
completely other life.
but most
Yeah,
people can't
the only other
accommodate because
person
they
again.
have their own huge careers and they're gone too. You know, I
Fly
mean,
that
it's so
coochie in.
that's a real thing. You know, so a lot of people don't end up in relationships. A lot
It
of people
is.
don't get married
I
for
thought we
that
talking.
reason. They
All right,
already
Yeah,
know,
because
like, my
it's
we talking about
lifestyle
me.
is not one that
yeah,
can accommodate a marriage. So it's just not something that I'm gonna do.
I always got time for the cook.
it's hard. It's no, you don't. No, you don't. You really don't.
Well,
And I was,
yeah.
and I'm saying you don't because I again on my first stage play, right? My first stage play, I was doing a lot of
But
work,
you working,
a
you
lot of
like a
work, and
Jamaican. You like a Jamaican. You got 12 jobs going on. You got
A lot of
the
people got
army.
12
God,
You got
jobs.
the stage. No, wait a minute. He got the army. He got the stage play. He got the kids going on. That's
He
that.
cooking
Hey,
dinners.
cooking. You know what I'm
but you think
saying?
about this, right?
Breakfast
But
dinner.
but again, I'm an amateur. You're talking about
And
people
like,
who are professionals, and this is what they do to make their
They
fucking
got
All right
income,
nannies.
now.
right?
and also,
They are
Fat, this
They got
wasn't
nannies.
doing
something
this
you
shit
All
did
right
when you
now.
were
day
You
in,
can
day
married.
say
out.
that. Say it a little
They
louder.
got
This
Put you in the
nannies.
bag.
Yeah,
also, Fat, like, this wasn't something that you were able to pursue while you were married. Like, this
You can't
was
tell me.
something that you had to that
yeah.
happened
That's
afterwards, right? This you
absolutely,
weren't
Chase.
doing
Absolutely.
shows and theaters while you were
So
I
married.
wasn't.
This happened after
when
I
y'all
wasn't.
get done talking,
space was
I'ma
created
say
between you
me
two.
and Kiana got Will and Jada scheduled, and my kids are where they kids are at. I got time to get that
Grown and
cookie.
gone.
I got time to get that cookie.
Well, then I tell you what. I tell you what.
They on DJ.
I
They
will
flying
challenge you
private
on.
jets, and I got
I
time to get
will.
that cookie.
I'll challenge you on that. Cause I'll challenge you on that, and go be a part of the theater community and see how that works out
These
for you.
comments, yo, they are straight wilding in the comments. I'm just
Pinky ring
Hey,
they
they
are
salute.
just
fire.
wilding in the
These comments fire.
I
Yeah,
ain't, I
they fire.
ain't, I ain't even been paying attention. Come on, show me some, man. Hey, oh, okay.
Oh shit.
So you
Yo,
These
got
people
we
me.
out
hey,
here
y'all, I'm just throwing this
wilding
out
in
here.
these comments.
What's our final
I'm
thoughts
just
on
Between
throwing
Miss
this
this?
out here,
Smith,
but we overtime.
between Miss Smith and Miss
We
Collins, they
We
got
know
the
what
we
room
time. I thought
overtime.
we
We
packed.
was
gotta get
still going. You hear me?
Any
Okay.
final thoughts about this?
we
Ed
Like,
and
yeah,
Will
like
we
every
gotta get the
week.
final
I
thoughts.
love y'all.
So everybody can't do it. That's one thing.
I love y'all. I'm gonna make time for the
Francis,
cookie.
you silly.
Mental
Sis,
health
you
is a
silly
big
as hell.
issue. Oh, I should have saved the cookie for last. But mental health is a big issue. Check on your people. The mental health prevention life hotline. What'd you say, Che?
National Suicide Prevention Hotline. Is that what
There
you
you
mean?
go. There you go. You said something else. You said I thought it was hotline, but it was something else. But
Lifeline is what
Lifeline.
Lifeline.
yeah.
They
okay,
changed from
lifeline.
hotline to lifeline.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So there we go. Yeah, check on your people, check on your folks. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy Dirt here from Family Bloodline. Love y'all. My final thoughts. Go
Yeah.
ahead, somebody.
One. It's on you, baby. It's on you, Wanda.
We're all human. Be nice to each other. Don't forget to brush and floss.
Mhm.
Okay,
I've been
Che.
flossing, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, first off, again,
Look at
Thanks
them
a
Che,
lot.
I
gums. I
just
see
want to
them big
reiterate
gums.
something.
Yes.
Che, before you say something, like I just want to let you know you rocking that motherfucking hairstyle. That shit is dope. I'm just throwing that out there for you.
Dang, Kev, I've been wearing a part down the middle of my head so long that like the side part has just got ya.
Hey,
I've been wearing a
that
part
shit is
down the
dope,
middle for
though.
so long. As soon as I put it on the side, everybody like, oh, girl. No, but
It
I
changes the
appreciate
whole
that. Thank you,
landscape,
Cuzzo.
cuz.
I appreciate it. I like it. I feel cool. I feel cool.
Mhm.
But yeah,
So
my
what's your
final
final
comments.
thoughts,
Yeah,
Jay?
man, just thank you for joining us. I hope everybody enjoy Halloween. For those of y'all who care about the Braves winning the World Series, I hope that you party today at the parades. And I know the kids was happy because they had to go to school today. They was like, what? Just an
Right.
extra random day. No reason for
Right.
letting so yeah, on your loved ones, especially because we were really trying to bring the mental health about the holidays specifically, like the
Right.
holiday mental health. So check on your loved ones, just give them a call and just say I love you. And Jada and Will, look, y'all got plenty of money. Y'all
Do
been
what
making
y'all
You
do,
dig?
baby.
do what y'all
On
do.
everything.
Listen, okay.
That's what I'm saying. I
And
wish I had
everybody
that
got their
problem.
own way. Relationships are
Okay.
customized in my world. My relationship are customized for me and what I need at that moment and
You
at
better
that
say
time.
that.
I don't
Yeah.
whatever. Everybody
Hey,
do what they
cuz,
want to
tell me
do,
if
but
you
I'm
got
most
some
definitely
problems
gonna
down
do what
there.
I
We
do.
pull up like this.
What is he talking about? I don't know.
You better say that, Jay. You better say that.
What about you,
All
Pat?
day,
Go
every
ahead.
day.
Yeah,
Yeah, my shit gonna be short and concise and to the point.
never.
Love each other like we ain't gonna
Psych.
It
No.
is, I promise.
Never. You said it right, never.
Oh
Yeah, never. Shit.
You
Oh
did
my
me,
my
Jay.
God.
God.
You
I
did
said
me,
that in my
Jay.
head.
You
Dang, I
did
said
me.
that out
But
loud.
no. So it really is gonna be short, concise, and to the point. Love each other like tomorrow doesn't exist. And that's all. Love each other like
No.
tomorrow
Right.
doesn't.
No. Come on. That nigga, I ain't never
Look,
been.
either he
Come on,
got 300
cuz.
words or he got
You at
4
least
words.
5 more
Come
minutes.
on, man.
He had at least 5 more
No,
minutes.
that's
No, thank you guys. No, for real. I
Thank
mean, is
you.
that
yeah.
what you want to say?
And
That's
then I want to
okay.
plug us. Like, I want to
Okay.
plug us. Look at the goddamn scroll bar. Donate to us. We do this shit out of our pockets and we doing it. So
Yeah.
come holler at
Check
us.
out our YouTube channel.
We doing this for y'all.
Check out our YouTube channel, Family Bloodline
Yeah.
podcast on YouTube. So
Shout
check that
out
out.
to Che. Che put a lot of that content out there for us,
She
y'all.
did. She engineered it.
Editing
She went
videos,
back and
especially
did editing
early videos,
all
everything.
day. God
Man,
damn it,
come
Jay,
on.
I'm giving you your motherfucking round of applause right now.
I
That's what I'm
appreciate
doing.
that y'all. I mean, it takes some time. I just want us all to look good and all be able to grow together. So I appreciate that, you guys.
But after them shows, you put
Yeah,
in a lot of extra time because that was
Yeah,
beautiful and genuine. We appreciate it.
for sure. For sure. Those are your roses, absolutely.
Yep.
So donate to the cause because we trying to get here.
donate to
We
the
trying to be with
cause.
y'all. We
Yeah,
appreciate y'all.
Like and subscribe.
Like and
Like
subscribe.
and subscribe.
like and subscribe.
And in the famous words of Russell Wilson's Def Comedy Jam, God bless, good night.
Yeah.
Russell Simmons.
Thank you guys.
Russell Wilson is a quarterback.
Oh, one more thing, by the way, we'll only be on YouTube going live every other Friday at 9 p.m.
With the
CST. Okay, bye.
fingers.
For sure.
Out of here.